Let's explore the concept of belief. Is there a force or power out there, a science, if you will, that not many people truly understand, but that can help them overcome their challenges and reach fantastic successes? I genuinely think there is. My aim is to break it down in a way that's simple for you to grasp if you're ready to give it a shot. I've discovered something that really makes a difference, and while it may not seem mystical, it's often overlooked or undervalued by many. I know there are strong forces in the world that would prefer to keep us all subdued, widening the gap between the powerful and the rest of us. It's essential that we honor the spirit of our ancestors. Without that, we risk living under the control of a small elite in nearly every aspect of our lives, essentially turning into serfs. I truly wish for my words here to motivate you to think independently and take action. I've always been incredibly curious about the world, which has pushed me to seek answers and understanding. This curiosity has whisked me down some pretty unexpected paths and led me to read every book I could find on topics like religions, cults, and both physical and mental sciences. I've consumed thousands of books that cover modern psychology, metaphysics, ancient magic, voodoo, yoga, theosophy, Christian Science, New Thought, and mental training. I've also explored the philosophies and teachings of great minds from the past. I like to think of this reading as a feast for my mind. Now, not every book has been worth my time. Some were outright silly, some just odd, while others were truly profound. But as time went on, I began to notice a golden thread connecting all these teachings, helping them resonate for those who genuinely believe in them and apply them. You can sum this thread up in one simple word: faith. This powerful faith seems to be the engine behind spiritual healings, remarkable professional success, and outstanding achievements. Why faith works its wonders is a mystery that can't be entirely unpacked, but there's no denying its impact. There's genuine magic in faith, and it kept surfacing in my mind. I've done my best to present these ideas clearly and casually so that everyone can grasp what I'm saying. I genuinely hope that everyone who listens discovers something valuable to help in achieving their life goals. So let's dive in. Let me share a bit from my own experience to help you understand this idea better. Back at the start of 1918, I found myself in France as a soldier, but without a proper unit. That meant I had to wait weeks for my paperwork to be sorted, and until then, I was pretty much broke. I had spent what little cash I had at the ship's canteen just to escape the dull menu. Each time I saw someone lighting up a cigarette or chewing gum, it felt like a gut punch, reminding me I had no money to enjoy those little pleasures. Sure, I wasn't starving, and the army provided me with clothes and a place to sleep, but being broke got old quick. To make things worse, there was no money in sight for quite a while. One sleepless night, while walking through a crowded troop train, I had an epiphany. Once I returned to civilian life, I would be financially comfortable. Right then, my perspective on life changed, although I didn't really grasp that I had sparked a chain reaction that would lead to that reality. It hadn't even occurred to me that I could actually accumulate wealth by simply shifting my thoughts and beliefs. Now, let's be clear. Money isn't the only goal people pursue. Whatever your objective with this information, it will definitely help you achieve it. I share this with full confidence that you will see results. However, I must caution you, never ever use this knowledge for anything harmful or wrong. Since the beginning of time, there have been two powerful forces at work, good and evil. Each is strong in its own way, and they operate in cycles. The secret behind both, it all comes down to the power of the mind. So it's crucial you handle this mental power with care. I cannot stress this enough. If you misuse this knowledge for negative purposes, it will come back to haunt you, causing chaos in your life, just like it has for many throughout history. This isn't just a light warning, it's something you should seriously think about. Now let's explore the power of thought. Take a moment to look around you. If you're in a room filled with furniture, you might think you're just staring at a bunch of inanimate objects. But that's only the surface level. What you're witnessing are thoughts and ideas brought to life through someone's creativity. It all began with ideas, like making a piece of furniture, assembling a window frame, setting up curtains, or picking out the perfect carpet. Then there are cars, towering skyscrapers and those massive planes flying high above. And let's not overlook handy gadgets like sewing machines and even tiny pins. So, where does it all come from? It all comes from a unique, magical power, our thoughts. When we look deeper, we realize that these remarkable achievements and practically everything we have arise from creative thinking. The American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson perfectly summed it up when he said, "Every action begins with a thought." Once you grasp this, it becomes evident that our thoughts shape our world, and everything visible has a spiritual essence. Buddha also shared wisdom centuries ago, stating, "Everything we are comes from what we have thought." The secret to success isn't external, it's all in our minds. In a sense, thoughts can transform little ones into giants, and sometimes vice versa. History is filled with stories of the weak becoming strong and the strong faltering. You can spot this in daily life as well. Thoughts are the magic ingredient behind all our success, achievements, and breakthroughs, whether it's monumental discoveries or small victories. When you realize that without the power of thought, there's no action or reaction, good or bad, you'll understand how true it is that you reap what you sow. Many believe hard work is the key to success, but I must say, just working hard isn't enough. There are countless diligent people who don't see much reward from their efforts. There's something else crucial. Creative thinking combined with a strong belief in your ability to bring your ideas to life. Throughout history, successful individuals have demonstrated that it's their minds driving their victories, with their hands simply providing support. Another essential point to understand is that to turn success into your reality, you must be fueled by your deepest desires. Your thoughts and goals need to align, and you must pour your energy directly and relentlessly into what you want. Maybe you're seeking wealth, fame, an amazing career, or a quest for knowledge. Everyone has their unique definition of success. Whatever it may be for you, remember that you can achieve it, but only if you turn that goal into a burning passion in your life. Not too much to ask, right? By harnessing the incredible power of faith, you can unlock all your inner strengths. These strengths will definitely help you reach your objectives. Now that we've explored how thoughts and desires play a role in your daily life, the first step is to clarify what you want. The common notion that we should just aim for success is far too vague and unclear. You need a crystal clear vision in your mind. Where do you want to go? What's your exact goal? Have you vividly envisioned what the completed picture looks like and allowed yourself to truly feel it? If it pertains to something material, can you specify the exact amount you desire? If it's an achievement or accomplishment, you should be able to describe it vividly. You must answer these questions for yourself because these answers will shape your life moving forward. As strange as it might sound, only about 1 in 100 people can actually respond to these questions. Most people just wish to progress, but beyond that general desire, everything else tends to be a bit unclear. They live in the present, hoping to find work tomorrow if they have work today. Somehow, they trust that they'll manage to get by in their later years. It's as if they're corks floating in the water, drifting this way and that, occasionally coming ashore, sometimes getting drenched, and eventually, they might just sink. That's why it's vital for you to understand precisely how you want your life to unfold. You need to be clear about what you wish to create and the direction you want to take. Keep that goal in sight, it's your guiding star. So if you're aiming to obtain or achieve something you don't currently possess, the journey begins with a deep desire. But wait, there's more to the story. They say thoughts attract what they focus on and create a connection to whatever they're directed toward. There's a saying about Job, "My fears were fulfilled." Our fearful thoughts are just as creative and magnetic as our positive and constructive ones. Regardless of the type of thoughts we have, they pull in more of the same. Once you understand this, you'll begin to see the immense power you have right at your fingertips. Although our thoughts can shape and influence things in ways we may not fully grasp, I believe they create based on their strength, emotional depth, and energy level. In essence, the creative and controlling ability of our thoughts hinges on their intensity and emotional energy. Our thoughts are closely linked to how consistently strong and potent they are, much like the way a radio station operates with its waves and frequencies. Whether these thoughts represent some form of electrical energy or something entirely different remains a mystery. Yet, several telepathic experiments conducted in labs have yielded results that far exceed random chance. It's evident that the transfer of data from one subconscious to another isn't merely electrical. I've conducted numerous experiments with high-frequency devices, drawing inspiration from the legendary electrical engineer Nikola Tesla. When I reflect on thoughts and their radiance, I can't help but think of electricity and its various manifestations. That perspective makes the most sense to me. Sigmund Freud, the pioneer of psychoanalysis, proposed the existence of a powerful force deep within us, akin to an unlit part of our subconscious. This force differentiates us from our waking consciousness and constantly influences our thoughts, feelings, and actions. It isn't tied to something physical like the brain, and science hasn't definitively located where it exists in our bodies. Yet, it undeniably exists. People have sensed its presence throughout history. In the past, it was often referred to as spirit. Paracelsus called it the will. Others have labeled it as the subconscious or even the inner voice. Some view it as the soul, with certain metaphysical beliefs suggesting it resides in the solar plexus. Terms like superego, inner strength, superconscious, and unconscious, among many others, help to describe it. Some even see this force as part of a cosmic consciousness that connects us all, including every living thing, whether it's human, plant, or animal. Ultimately, the name we give it doesn't matter much. Personally, I lean toward calling it the subconscious. What truly matters is recognizing it as the essence of life, and we have yet to discover just how powerful it really is. The subconscious is always on the job. It helps us navigate tough situations, warns us of potential dangers, and enables us to achieve what once seemed unattainable. It acts like a guiding force, influencing us in countless ways. When we connect with it properly, it can create amazing results, like true miracles. One of the most effective ways to harness this power is through mental imagery. So, let's take full advantage of it. Picture yourself vividly imagining exactly what you desire in life. This is known as visualization. But here's the twist. Genuine fulfillment often comes from a deep and unwavering belief in yourself. It's this kind of confidence that leads to miracles and those remarkable, inexplicable experiences we sometimes encounter. I'm talking about a belief that's solid and free of doubt, an intense, positive feeling that runs through every part of you. It's a faith that springs from deep within your heart and soul, an unshakable conviction that feels almost instinctive. You might call it an emotional high, a spiritual vibe, or even just good energy. Whatever label you choose doesn't truly matter. What's essential is that this strong belief is what lets the law of attraction work its wonders, aligning your focused thoughts with whatever you're pursuing. Faith acts like a huge magnet, changing the frequency of your thoughts and tapping into your inner strengths, completely transforming your essence and impacting who you are. This powerful energy can reach out to people and things even from a distance, often leading to astonishing outcomes that seem completely unreal. Now, let's explore the realm of the subconscious. Every artist, scientist, or writer has felt the influence of the subconscious in their lives, even if they haven't paid much attention to it. Gustave Galli, a renowned French psychologist, observed that before the 19th century, the idea of the subconscious was largely ignored, relegated to explanations for strange illnesses or accidents. He emphasized that the best results in life stem from a close partnership between our conscious and subconscious minds. When it comes to self-belief, the subconscious is vital. It helps you understand this idea more quickly, clarifying what the subconscious really is, where it resides, and how it functions both independently and alongside our conscious mind. Your conscious mind is where all your thoughts flow when you're awake. It keeps you aware of your surroundings, enables you to use your mental skills, helps you remember things, and guides you in understanding your emotions. Grasping what's around us allows us to see our strengths and spot areas where we might struggle. It helps us analyze arguments and appreciate beautiful art. Sometimes we can find solutions this way, but other times it feels like we're stuck in a loop with no way out. The more we push ourselves, the more exhausted we become, leading to self-doubt. We might question our own abilities or completely give up, thinking there's nothing we can do. This is where our subconscious comes in. It provides a boost, restoring our self-belief and guiding us towards new achievements. Picture the conscious mind as the thinking brain, while the subconscious acts like the powerhouse working behind the scenes. It's connected to our most basic desires and constantly nudges us toward a more fulfilling life. The subconscious is extraordinary. It holds intuition, emotions, certainty, inspiration, and an array of helpful abilities like deduction, imagination, organization, and a stellar memory. It's also filled with vibrant energy. Because it operates independently from our conscious thoughts, it possesses unique skills and an enchanting way of making things happen. Now, this powerhouse has three key functions. First, it keeps us healthy and alive without us even having to think about it, just by sensing what our bodies need. Second, in emergencies, it reacts instantly and accurately, moving with complete confidence. Lastly, it delves into the extraordinary, showcasing abilities like telepathy, clairvoyance, and even psychokinesis. When we face a personal crisis, we can tap into our subconscious to unleash its full strength for overcoming challenges or making our desires a reality. So let's focus on how to harness this incredible part of our mind. The key is to ask for things that you truly deserve and can manage. The subconscious acts within our capacity to handle what we request. Once you express your wishes, it's important to visualize them as if you've already achieved them, as if all the hard work is done. To truly recognize yourself as a success, you need to feel it within. Imagine yourself having accomplished that task or living in the role you've always dreamed of. The key is to be patient and let your subconscious work through the details while you relax. Believing that success is coming is crucial. As French philosopher Theodore Simon Jouat said, your subconscious only springs into action when you have faith in it. When ideas and plans emerge from your subconscious into your conscious mind, the solutions you seek and the path to achieving them will gradually become clear. Stay open to the insights from your subconscious and invite them in. Once you understand what it's sharing, take immediate action without hesitation. Leave the doubts behind. Responding quickly to those messages signals to your subconscious that you're receptive and ready for more direction. Sometimes you might face a more complex issue. In such cases, you might not receive straightforward solutions, but pay attention to those nudges from within, suggesting actions that might seem trivial or unclear at the moment. Trust the power and wisdom of your subconscious and act on those seemingly random thoughts. Believe me, there will come a time when you realize your dreams and looking back, everything will make sense. You'll see how, with your subconscious's assistance, events unfolded beautifully, linking together to bring your greatest hopes and desires to life. Now, let's discuss the power of suggestion. After exploring various mystical beliefs and teachings, it's fascinating how they all operate similarly. They achieve success through repetition, often using specific mantras, phrases, or formulas. William Sook noted that sorcerers, voodoo priests, and followers of various unusual cults use their unique language to invoke spirits or perform their magic. This concept can also be found in chants. You'll notice similar patterns in litanies, chants, daily teachings, and prayers from Buddhists and Muslims, along with affirmations from theosophists and many other groups. There's this thread that ties all religions together, and surprisingly, there's a dash of white magic involved too. Now let's discuss the law of suggestion, which truly is a game changer. When you tap into this law, the outcomes can be astounding. It's all about the power of suggestion that kickstarts everything. You have two types: autosuggestion, where you tell yourself things, and heterosuggestion, where the suggestions come from others. This strong suggestion sets the subconscious mind buzzing with creativity, and that's where affirmations and repetition play their part. Singing the same song, using a catchy phrase, or repeating an affirmation over and over can lead to belief. Once that belief takes hold and becomes a firm conviction, transformation begins. Hitler was skilled at using this same force and mechanism to influence the German people against their surroundings. A quick glance at Mein Kampf will illustrate my point. Ren Fowl, a renowned French psychologist, demonstrated just how incredible the power of suggestion can be and how cleverly it was utilized. Hitler expertly leveraged every propaganda tool in his campaign, almost like he had a magic wand in hand. He recognized that the psychology of suggestion could be a potent weapon, so let's explore how he got the Germans to follow him so eagerly. In Germany, slogans, posters, massive signs, and flags appeared everywhere. Hitler's face was literally inescapable. One Reich, one people, one leader became a catchy refrain that resonated everywhere. The rallying cry of, "Today Germany is ours, tomorrow the world," was shouted by thousands. Phrases like, "Germany has watched long enough," "Rise up, you are the elite of the Third Reich," and "Germany stands united behind Hitler," echoed in the air and plastered on every wall. People consumed a constant stream of messages proclaiming they were a master race. Once that belief began to settle in, they became part of the terror campaign, completely under the hypnotic spell of this idea, consistently reinforced. They were eager to prove it. Sadly, other nations were also feeling very strong about their own identities, leading to Germany's downfall during the Great Economic Crisis. And who knows, economic crises may rear their heads again in the future. This power of suggestion, it works, no question about it. Day in and day out, we kept hearing the same tired narrative. These are tough times. Business is struggling, banks lack trust, and who knows what lies ahead. This constant complaining spread like wildfire across the nation, and tragically, hundreds, no thousands, of hardworking individuals fell prey to this wave of negativity and fear. When fear takes hold, money tends to flee, businesses falter, and unemployment soon follows. We were inundated with stories of bank failures and bankruptcies, and people began to accept them as truth, acting accordingly. If only everyone understood that their own anxious thoughts were the ones creating these tough times, we could avoid these economic disasters altogether. Walter Dill Scott, a renowned figure in psychology and former president of Northwestern University, once stated that the outcomes of business are more influenced by our mindset than by our abilities. And he hit the nail on the head. You see, belief can lead to some incredible results. People, no matter their background, share the same feelings, face similar struggles, and resonate on the same frequency. So, what is a large corporation, a town, or even a whole nation, if not a collection of individuals impacting each other with their thoughts and beliefs? How an individual thinks shapes who they are, how a city thinks shapes its identity, and a nation's thoughts shape its future. It's as straightforward as that. Each of us is a reflection of our own thoughts and beliefs. Echoing King Solomon's words, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." Now let's take a moment to look at those lucky charms people adore: amulets, talismans, four-leaf clovers, horseshoes, rabbit's feet, and the like. By themselves, they're just simple trinkets without any magic. But when people invest their beliefs into them, they gain a certain kind of power, even if it's not real power. A prime example is Alexander the Great. An oracle famously proclaimed that whoever could unravel the Gordian knot would become the ruler of Asia. Alexander sliced it in half like a true hero and rose to become a powerful leader. Then there's Napoleon, who as a boy received a golden sapphire with the promise that it would bring him luck and one day elevate him to emperor. He held on to that belief with unwavering resolve. This promise ultimately led him to become the Emperor of France, and both he and Alexander accomplished remarkable feats thanks to their balanced faith. Most of you might not be into golf or billiards, but I've got a fun little experiment to illustrate how attraction works through visualization, and you'll catch on quickly. Grab some small stones or pebbles and remember this. Find something like a tree or a stake that's about 15 to 20 inches tall and stand 8 to 10 feet away from it. Now, try to toss your pebbles at that tree. Spoiler alert, most of them are likely to miss completely. Take a moment to tell yourself that you can hit the target. Visualize the tree moving towards your stone, as if they're destined to meet right where they should. Don't talk yourself out of it by thinking it's impossible. Just give it a shot and see what happens. If you truly believe, you might just surprise yourself. Now, let's talk about the art of visualization. To start becoming the person you aspire to be, first create a mental picture of that new version of yourself. If you stick with that vision, before long, you'll see yourself transforming into that person. William Shakespeare offered some wise advice. Fake a virtue if you don't already have it. What does that really mean? When you're faking a virtue, you're putting your imagination to good use. But here's the twist. You need to distinguish between daydreaming and crafting a genuine mental image. It's only when you have an authentic image that your imagination is truly in action. Sure, it would be awesome if a genie magically dropped $100,000 into your lap or gifted you a lavish mansion, but I'm still waiting for that too. Daydreaming or wishing won't tap into your inner power to attract wealth or luxury. When you envision things the right way, you can actually see yourself achieving something. Then, it's all about taking action to bring that vision to life. Consider a magnifying glass. When it's focused just right, it can concentrate sunlight so intensely that it burns a hole in paper. But you've got to hold it still to build that heat. The same principle applies to your mental images or visualization. Let's be honest, if you're just starting out, maintaining focus for an extended period can be challenging. Keeping that mental image clear in your mind can be even tougher. You'll notice your thoughts drifting off with distractions, random ideas, and all sorts of thoughts popping in at the most inconvenient times. You see, hear, or read things, and often what happens is the creative part of our brains takes all that noise and turns it into a chaotic mess, instead of forming a clear and vibrant idea. I like to think of wanting something like a seed that we plant in a garden. Once the soil is prepared, you tuck those little seeds in, and soon they start to take root and sprout. These sprouts are incredibly determined, pushing their way through the soil in search of sunlight and water. And no matter what obstacles they face, rocks, twigs, you name it, they find a way around them. Now, if you plant a solid thought, something clear and focused, and keep nurturing it with positive, strong beliefs, it can grow into a powerful force that can overcome any challenges. So let's get practical. Grab 3 or 4 standard-sized index cards. Take a moment to sit down and think about your biggest wish, the one you truly want the most. Once you have that figured out, write a simple phrase summarizing your desire at the top of each card. It might be a better job, a loving partner, or my own cozy home. Then jot down the same thing on the other cards. Keep one in your wallet, one on your bedside table, one on your bathroom mirror, and one on your desk. You've likely noticed this trick keeps your goals front and center in your mind throughout the day. Before you go to bed at night and as soon as you wake up, focus on that wish. But don't just stop there. The more you visualize your dream, whatever way works for you, the faster it will start to materialize. At first, you might not know how it'll all come together, and that's completely okay. Let your subconscious handle the details. It has a way of finding paths, making connections, and opening doors you'd never expect. Help may come from the most surprising sources. Ideas can strike out of nowhere, bringing you closer to what you desire. Maybe a brilliant thought will come from an old friend you haven't heard from in ages, or you'll get an unexpected message from someone, or perhaps inspiration will hit while you're reading a book or an article. When an idea pops into your head, don't wait. Take action. I can't emphasize this enough. Keep your writing to yourself. Seriously, don't share even a hint about it, because that could really derail your progress. Once you start to understand the vibes, both the conscious and the unconscious, you'll notice how feelings like envy can hold you back. Talking about your goals and ideas can sap your energy and disconnect you from that deep connection to your subconscious. It's like needing a fresh start. So, stay focused on your journey and keep your plans to yourself. Remember what I said about chants, incantations, and affirmations? These tools are really powerful because they get your subconscious fired up. Whether you say them quietly or out loud, these words make your mind sit up and take notice. That's the essence of repetition. When you have a clear vision or a strong goal, it's like branding that idea right into your subconscious. This way, you can pursue your ambitions without wasting too much time or energy. Stay devoted to your goal, no excuses, and you'll find yourself inching closer to it step by step. It's all about channeling your energy towards what you want. Imagine you're aiming for a better job or a promotion. Don't just rely on what's available. Keep telling yourself you're going to land that position. If you truly embrace the ideas I shared, you're already visualizing the job you want, but it's the repetition that locks that idea into your subconscious. Think of it like hammering a nail into wood. The first tap secures it, but it's those follow-up taps that drive it deeper. Always remember, your subconscious is always listening and ready to take action based on the guidance you provide. I've noticed something fascinating. People who actively use these techniques, whether they realize it or not, seem to overflow with energy. They're like living batteries. They not only harness their imagination and strong beliefs, but are also brimming with motivation. Here's an important point. Without action, faith becomes dead weight. Now let's talk about sharing your thoughts with the world. We often overlook how much our emotional vibes are sending signals to others and how we're picking up on theirs in return. We're deeply influenced by the vibes of those around us. If there's a really anxious person in charge, you can be sure their nerves will spill over to everyone else. Whether at work or home, a negative person can cause harm, just like a positive person can spread good vibes. When these two forces collide, negativity often prevails. Someone who's all about spreading negativity can easily pass it on to coworkers, creating chaos, just like how one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. You might notice this yourself. When one person starts crying, it often triggers tears in others, and when someone laughs, it's contagious. Even a simple yawn can catch on quickly. If you want to keep your spirits high, it's smart to avoid those who bring you down. Think about how different it feels when you enter various offices or homes. You can instantly pick up on whether the people inside are grumpy, relaxed, friendly, or distant. The arrangement of furniture and the colors on the walls, they all give off vibes that reflect how the people feel in that space. If you're chasing wealth, you need to be where the money is. Imagine being alone on a deserted island. It would be tough to survive, let alone get rich. Life is similar, so seek out those who have money or know how to generate it. It might sound straightforward, but you'll discover money where it's actually flowing. And while you're at it, connect with those who know how to spend it wisely. Having the right mindset, a driven attitude, and that irresistible charm that comes from your imagination can work wonders. Take Theos Bernard as an example. When he found himself in Tibet and faced with locals throwing stones at him, his first instinct was to fight back. But then he paused and remembered to tap into his inner strength. What a game changer. He shrugged, lifted his head, locked his gaze ahead, and walked forward with purpose, taking swift, steady steps. The crowd not only parted for him, but some even made it a point to clear the way. When someone truly understands the power of their mind and takes action based on that understanding, they can take charge of their life and everything in it. You have that same inner spark, but it may need some encouragement to ignite with passion and energy. Keep that flame alive by feeding it with new ideas and believing in what you can achieve through action. Now let's explore the concept of belief and making things happen. I've aimed to show you how to build this faith to help you climb higher on life's ladder. But here's the twist. It's just as easy to lose that faith. Many people have reached incredible heights only to stumble later on. Others seeking good health may have felt healed, only to find themselves slipping back months or even years later. There are countless factors that can weigh us down, often sneaking into our subconscious when we least expect it, undermining all the progress we've made. So step outside, bask in the sunlight, and watch those shadows disappear. They can't reach you when you're shining with positivity. I know it can be hard for those unfamiliar with these concepts to grasp, but even the biggest skeptics won't get very far unless they're aware. The thoughts we hold in our minds shape the reality we experience. That's why we truly control our happiness. Your environment and daily events will only affect your feelings if you allow those external images to influence your mind. What you possess, your wealth, or your social standing really don't matter here. It's all about your mindset, and you have the ability to steer that with your thoughts. We all know about the law of cause and effect, but how often do people pause to truly reflect on it? Sometimes a single thought can turn an entire life story upside down in an instant. History is filled with individuals who stayed true to their beliefs and inspired others, even when faced with strong opposition. They built remarkable companies or even entire nations. And you know what? They didn't possess some hidden treasure of thought power. They simply knew how to harness what was already available to them. You have the same potential as anyone else. All you need to do is tap into that strength and become the amazing person you envision. Thanks to the law of cause and effect, your core thoughts can usher in new experiences, attracting positive energy and innovative ideas. When you think positively, it sparks action, bringing you closer to your dreams. The real magic lies in your mindset. If you can visualize it, you can create it. By setting clear goals and sticking to them, health, wealth, and happiness will effortlessly follow. The law of cause and effect is as powerful as ever, so take the time to understand yourself. Recognizing your power is essential, and trusting in the magic of faith can enhance your chances of success in all your endeavors. Combine that with your determination, and you'll feel invincible, mastering your life and truly becoming your authentic self.